DuncanDuo.com for an instant cash offer on your house to get your home value estimate or to set a home selling consultation with an agent from our team to come out and help you determine which path is right for you. It's one of the unique things on our team is we give you all your options. We say, hey, look, here's what it looks like if you just do cash. Here's what it looks like if you go on the market traditionally. Here are the things that you need to do. So we can give you all those paths. Again, that's at DuncanDuo.com. 1 in 3 homes was bought with cash in 2025. This is something I want to kind of reiterate here because I think this is important for people to understand why our real estate market is not nearly as at risk of a massive downward spiral like in the Great Recession. Of course, the real estate market has not been great the last few years, but it's also not been terrible. We have reduced transaction counts, and our home prices have been pretty flat with some slight depreciation. Nothing like the Great Recession where we were seeing homes dropping, the average sale price in Tampa was dropping 10% a month during certain periods, and home sales were at historic lows. The reason why? The amount of cash in the marketplace. It's the reason why we won't have the massive downturn that we have the next time is because Wall Street has deployed cash into our real estate market. There are hedge funds buying up homes that will gladly buy them up if people fall behind or turn into foreclosures. There are buyers on Wall Street with cash ready to pull the trigger that don't need financing, that don't need appraisals, that are buying those for long-term holds. Enormous multi-billion dollar hedge funds that are buying homes for long-term rentals. A third of home sales were all cash. Cash dominates in the extremes of the market too. 2/3 of homes under $100,000 were cash, and more than 40% of homes over $1 million were bought with cash, with the share topping 50% for homes above $2 million. The amount of cash that's in the marketplace is higher than it's ever been. So that protects the real estate market because what kills the real estate market wasn't the recession. The recession didn't kill the real estate market. What killed the real estate market was foreclosures. So the cash being what it is, another reason why we'll never see the foreclosure crisis that we saw back in back 15 years ago, 15 years ago. I was selling real estate then, relatively newly licensed, a few years in the business. The qualification process for getting a mortgage is massively different. The ability to get more second and third home mortgages and investor loans is different. The amount of cash in the marketplace and the banks. The banks and the investors don't want to foreclose, so they do forbearance, they kick the can down the road, they do deed in lieu, so that then those foreclosures don't ever hit the market at these low retail prices because that's what pulls the values down. If they do hedge fund trading, like some big hedge fund goes to B of A and says, hey, we want all your bad houses, we'll buy them in bulk, then individual prices don't ever get recorded for those properties. When individual prices don't get reported because they bought them in a bulk debt sale and then they did cash for keys, those numbers don't hit the market to pull the price down. The banks and the hedge funds have figured it out. We won't see massive depreciation again. The residential real estate market has a bubble around it for that reason. And of course, the amount of cash and the federal government allowing Wall Street to basically buy up real estate. They had a lot of protections on that back many, many years ago, and now they don't. So Wall Street's hedge funds buying properties like crazy. So among metros, there are a lot of cash buyers varying across the country, driven by home prices, demographics, and market dynamics. The all cash share states, Mississippi, Montana, Idaho, Hawaii, and Maine, all 45 to 50% range, homes that were bought all cash. Miami, 43%, San Antonio, 39%, Kansas City, Kansas, 39%, Birmingham, 38%, Houston, 38%, and St. Louis, 38%, led the nation cash share for the first half of 2025. By contrast, high-cost job-centered markets saw the lowest cash shares: Seattle, San Jose, Denver, and Washington, D.C. We're kind of in the middle there with Tampa. But nonetheless, the cash sales are kind of the protection. We're definitely higher than pre-pandemic levels. We're definitely higher cash amounts than we were in the Great Recession. Those amount of cash sales obviously aren't going to become foreclosures. The mortgage process protects it, as well as, like I mentioned before, the banks and investors learning from the last time to protect the real estate market with things like forbearance, hedge fund, large debt scale purchases, cash for keys, homes not making it all the way to the foreclosure steps because they work out something with an investor, a hedge fund, to buy their debt. All those things help protect the value. So in essence, we would have definitely already seen a real estate crash, especially, probably, pandemic or after, had those things not been in place. Those things protected the market. Whether we're still in a free market economy for real estate is a conversation for another day, because it's not quite capitalist anymore. It's definitely got some government overtones and protections. So hopefully that makes sense, but hopefully it also gives you peace of mind to know that the risk in real estate is somewhat protected by that backstop. So again, you've been listening to the Duncan Duo Real Estate Show. When we aren't on air, follow us on all of our socials at The Duncan Duo. And if you need to sell your home, you want a quick cash offer, you want to set an appointment with an agent on our team, hit up DuncanDuo.com. And if you need one of those VA or FHA streamlined refinances to lower your interest rate, even if you don't have equity, hit up CitywideTampa.com.